Hi there, folks. This is a chat with Glendora, and this chat that I'm going to play for you now is with Paul Spira, somebody whom I respect and admire and have for a number of years, out in Southold, Southampton, and Riverhead. He worked for Cablevision and he did a good job. And I guess that's why he got fired, because he did a good job on public access. But he says a very interesting thing here. Hello, Jenny. Coming over and see the folks? Yeah, that's this way, Jen. You're going right back into your box, into your bed? Not saying hello to the people? Yeah, come on, Jenny. That's it. That's it. Come on, Jen. Over here. Can't get her into the camera. I'd lift her for you, but she's 20 pounds. Anyway, about Paul Spira, this is what he said.
Not at all. You were disgruntled
I just
before.
pushed him as far as I could go, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You were disgruntled before he got fired.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just surprised it took him so long. But anyway, that's good.
Yeah.
I just opened your, I had a whole shitload of mail here.
Oh, yes.
You sent me I'll sign the thing and actually hand it in. I'll be your sponsor out here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That's good. That's showing a who's boss.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Then I get a double dig.
Yes, you do.
Because you know what we say out here to them, don't you?
Tell me.
Okay. We go, listen, we're going to pull a Glendora on you. So that's funny. I like it.
Yeah, that's it.
He needs to have that too.
Yes, he sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's really something. Yeah.
Play this for you in another recorder.
He's really something.
One
Okay.
recorder cues it up
Take care.
well, and the other recorder
Bye-bye.
plays it
Go,
well.
go. Oh, sure. Let's see. I don't think I ever told you this joke.
He wants a joke before I go.
The man in the Oval Office, and he saw a gold phone. And he says, "What's that?" And they said, "You can talk to God on that phone." Called up and he talked to God for 3 minutes. He says, "What do I owe you?" And they said, $300. And a month later, he is transferred to Israel. And he saw a gold phone, and he's talked to God on that phone for 3 minutes. He said, "What do I owe you?" And they said, 30 cents. He says, "What? 3 minutes in the Oval Office with $300. And they said, "Over here, it's a local call."
Over here at the local call. Alrighty.
Okay, Steve.
I'll be talking to you soon.
I mean, Paul. Okay. Bye.
Worse, you know.
Here's another person's reaction to that joke.
Okay, Jack.
Okay.
See you, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Okay, you too. Bye. Bye. Well,
What wanted to do?
really? Oh, good, Peter.
Yeah. I needed it. What are you doing?
Are you going to make a demand on television, Cablevision, to see the books, records, and minutes?
Sure, if you want me to.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All you have to do is write my letter and say, "I'm a shareholder and I want to see the books, records, and minutes."
Who should I send it to?
I would say to Charles F. Dolan, James L. Dolan, and Robert F. Lemley.
Okay. Okay.
And then just go in 4 days later. They have to have them ready for you in 4 days.
What year?
Oh, just tell them books, records, and minutes.
Oh, I have to read it?
Yeah, if you want.
Well, does it help or not?
No, I would say you want to just see them. All of them.
Okay.
Hey, that's great.
In fact, I'll use the excuse to split.
Next one is the United States
Got my notice.
District Court,
That was mailed to you on July 4th, Independence Day.
Detroit.
Regarding what?
The case number is it's an appeal 0020.
No.
Mr. Graham. Is Mr. Graham pending them?
U.S. Court of Appeals is really in New Orleans, but the chief judge is in Houston. And this is Matt talking. Somebody named Matt answered the chief judge's phone, and her name is Carolyn King.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to get to call the clerk's office in New Orleans on Monday. They handle I have no idea what time that I'm not her secretary.
Okay, are you the clerk?
Yeah, I'm a clerk of hers. I'm not the clerk of the court.
No, not of the court. But did she get it at the address where you are now?
I have no idea. I don't handle her mail.
Oh, okay. Who does?
Secretary.
Let me put this in the recorder it was made on.
She won't be until Monday.
Who's that, Amy?
No, it's Bobby.
Oh, that's Bobby.
You're just going to have to call back on Monday and speak with her.
Okay, is this where Amy is?
Yes.
Okay. Amy was going to find out for me and asked me to call her back.
Yeah, she's not in over the weekend either.
She was there last Sunday.
Yeah, she's not in now, though. I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard anything of it.
All right, would you ask Amy to call me and tell me if she got that?
Well, the best thing for you to do, Amy doesn't really know either. The best thing for you to do is to call Bobby on Monday during business hours.
Will you ask Amy to do what she said she would do, which was to call me?
Well, I will ask her. What is your name?
Okay, Glendora.
Okay.
Yeah, Glendora.
Okay.
914-949-9495. And I also want to know if the record on appeal could be sent to me.
Again, that's something you're going to need to go to the clerk's office for, the clerk of court in New Orleans. They're the people that handle all of that.
Are you going to give Amy my message?
Yeah, what is your number again? 914?
Yes, thank you. 949-9495.
9495. I'll give you your message. She won't be until Monday, though.
Okay, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Where are you?
United
Fight.
States District Court, Michigan.
No, it isn't.
No answer.
The next chat with Glendora is to Anthony Riddle, the Executive Director of Public Access in Manhattan,
Court, Michigan.
Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
No answer.
Finished recording. You may hang up or dial pound.
Hi, Anthony Riddle. It's Glendora. I was wondering if you could help me get a spot in prime time. I've been down in the cellar now for since 1974, I guess. I would like to get up. I'm on at 8:30 on Thursdays morning. I've been opposite the Today Show and Good Morning America for a long time. I was wondering if I could be moved up to prime time. My number is 914-949-9495. Thanks.
Jim Carney.
This is Glendora. I enjoyed our visit. I forgot to tell you that...
Okay, once again, 960-1180.
Jim Carney,
Leave a message.
BronxNet.
As soon as I can. Thank you for calling.
Jim Carney, this is Glendora. I enjoyed our visit. I forgot to tell you that after James Dolan had mentioned Franklin's being in D-Day, I waited until the meeting was about to be adjourned. And I always second the motion to adjourn because I like to foil their poor little script. The whole meeting is scripted. Or it was until we appeared. Anyhow, at the end I waited for the meeting to be the motion to adjourn, and then I said, Mr. Dolan, I said, I just wanted to make a comment that World War II D-Day was a snap compared to what I put Franklin through in 45 years.
Next chat with Glendora is to Paul Feiner, Supervisor of Greenberg.
Every day, several.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello. You have reached Supervisor Paul Finer's office for the town of Greenberg. I'm away from my desk at the moment, but please leave your name and your number, and I'll have Supervisor Finer call you back as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hi, Paul Feiner, it's Glendora. And the more I think about it, the municipalities were snickered. public access, and the municipalities trusted TCI, and they got snickered. It always surprised me that the municipalities never sued TCI for what they did. And it always surprised me that the municipalities never supported Glendora in her suit. 3 suits against TCI.
Roberta, Castor, and Bill Klein are having at the Cafe El Dorado, they are having an art exhibit of watercolor visions. And I think it would be nice if you could go. Just a second, let me turn down the feedback here. It's from August 5th to September 5th, and there will be a reception on Saturday, August 5th, from 3 to 6 p.m. And it's located at 573 Main Street, New Rochelle. This is the bulletin from church today. Now, how can anybody kill a lamb and eat it? How can anybody murder a lamb and eat it? The 1980 first job of the day is upholstery. And this man is really good. He is really good. Years and years ago, he did the headliner for this car. Isn't it beautiful? Now today, he has to put in that little rectangular upholstery piece. And he's going to fix this armrest that Rocky chewed all the pieces. Where's Ronnie?
Ronnie is not here yet. He should be here any moment.
Shame on you, Ronnie. Upholstery business is good, isn't it?
Yep.
I have to give up to you, Ronnie. Fine. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes. He did. Yeah, he's smiling. Why don't you take this door panel off for me? We'll leave it here. I'm just going to do something over here. Yeah.
We decided to come back the end of the day and pick it up. This is a 1964 Cadillac, and look, they still have fins. 1964 Cadillac, still with fins. We are picketing Nikolai, and this is the county courthouse. And this is July 17, 2000, Anno Domini, and there's some court officers getting to work late. And the poster says, Nix Nikolai. This is where de Blasi has been banished to. He's out of this courthouse over here. That court officer over there just said, wave to me. It said Glendora. Floors of injustice. Supreme Court, County Court, County of Westchester, State of New York, United States of America. Judge's entrance. He's a lawyer. He says all the judges are away at school. Well, they need to go to school. He says they'll be gone for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, aside from duty judge.
Except for the duty judge. Okay, next one to picket is Fry. A lot of clerks going through this entrance too. See, the oncoming traffic gets a good look at this poster. A lot of people blow their horns, put their arms out the window and cheer. Oh, where is this? Quaropus and Grove Street. City of White Plains, County of Westchester. State of New York. United States of America. Isn't God a great creator? Right here in barrenness, these bachelor gluttons bloom their cheer. Isn't that something?
Thief, a liar, and a cheat. Tell me what happened.
Oh, I have the documentation and I have personal knowledge of it.
Of what, though? What incident are you talking about?
Casari versus Glendora.
I don't know what that means.
She's got to be a relative. Now we're going to picket Edward A. Fry, who cheats, and Sweeney Cone, Vaccaro, who cheat. New York Law Journal. Coming into Port Chester, going under the Hartford, New Haven. What railroad was it?
New York, New Haven, and Hartford.
And past the Lifesaver plant. The 2 big rolls of Lifesavers are gone. And coming to the Port Chester Village Court to picket Giacomo. Giacomo cheats. This is July 17th, a Monday morning, and it's almost noon. And this is Port Chester. You're an attorney. Are you a friend of Giacomo's?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I have no idea what your sign means.
I think I just told you. Sign means he's a cheater.
But you weren't very specific.
Read the record. You're an attorney. Look it up. Okay. Attorneys should not be friends with judges. Folks, I just love this when plants fight for an existence and win. See, they covered all this with gravel and stones, but these plants push themselves up and are determined to grow and to live. I love it. You have to put a quarter in to get a grocery cart. I don't. Pathmark, I can't find any frozen bread dough. And now it's standing in line to check out. They don't have any frozen bread dough. We used to carry it. Estimate, $8, $16. I don't want to go back and get the quarter for the card. It's too much. Okay, we did White Plains Public Access and we did Cablevision Harrison Public Access. This is the new apartment building in New Rochelle, right at the railroad station for people who commute. And when they come home, they don't like to drive or take a taxi to their house. So they can rent an apartment right at the railroad station. This is a green 1980 Lincoln. It's in very good shape. It's a 1980 Lincoln. Continental, as you can see. See the Continental? See, it says Continental. He's got all of his letters, and it's a Mark 6. It is not a signature series, and it's in really good shape. Let's see if it is a 1980. It's a 1981. It's been inspected. Isn't that in good shape? Doesn't say Mark 6 on it, but it has to be a Mark 6 because that's what it was that year. See, he's got a trip log. I wonder if his works. That's the problem with mine. Mine doesn't work. I don't have any clock and I don't have any information center. Came along and stole this lens from me, just took it out. You can't get the car inspected without that lens. Now these are real Lincoln lens because you see they have a plastic strip right down the center. The ones I have aren't that fancy, but they cost $125 a piece. James, where I had the 1980 Lincoln one fixed up, he did a wonderful job. A 1967 Chevrolet Malibu that's being restored. Henry Hudson Parkway at 7 o'clock. Riding to a meeting of the Manhattan Public Access Producers. July 17, 2000, Monday. Notice the smooth, quiet ride of a Lincoln. There's a Trump building, right, Franklin?
I believe so.
Coming to 57th Street. That's where CBS is. Empire State Building. But it was a fast trip. We left at 7 o'clock. So here we are in dirty Manhattan. And we're looking for 241.
Game 2 weeks ago filming, and there's Guy Molinari, Mayor Giuliani, and Selig, bodyguards, and he's on the walkie-talkie, you know, they're all buddies. Guy Molinari doesn't need any bodyguards, he has the police. But they're friends. They're talking, shooting breeze. And also, a person in question is Rosemary Furno, who is one of the board directors.
And I cover them on location and I edit them at imminent time on cable, but I cover events all over. Right now I just got back from Manhattan, for example. I covered the music festival
in Brooklyn, and I've got trying to work with the Direct Action Network. It's a group of political activists who work out of Manhattan. City Council. I have 5 copies. I can pass out to some people.
I'm an attorney interested in cable matters. I don't know why. It seems interesting. Area of law that not very well defined. Somebody had to come and do some of the stuff that I'm doing. There's a lot of questions about what people's rights are. I figure somebody's got to get to the bottom of it one of these days. I'm the guy. So, I'm a Queens resident, and after initially getting my feet wet in public access issues out in Nassau and Suffolk, I am now turning my attention to what's going on in New York City. Federal law, as it is, gives you greater power to bring the cudgel down and smite the people who want to trample on your editorial rights when they are cable operators and franchising authorities, more so than they do when a third-party administrator, like a not-for-profit organization, which run all the cable, which administrate the public access systems in all the 5 boroughs in New York City. But I'm also a soon-to-be public access producer if Queens Public Television ever gives me the training that I've been waiting for over 1 year.
Come to Bronx then.
I understand. It's actually an exercise in seeing just how long they expect people to wait for training. Right. So.
I waited 4.
Well, now that I've sent them some very fine letters on my letterhead, and you know, defending certain people's rights, I'm not expecting anything from this What it really means is, and you were talking about before, sunshine law, really is open meetings law and freedom of information law compliance. If we could just turn the heat up on our city officials to ask the borough presidents to insist that each borough administrator adopt an amendment to their bylaws that the organizations comply with the open meetings law and the freedom of information law, then you know what's going on. You're not going to get rid of the political patronage. I mean, is there a better way? I mean, how else are you going to appoint these people? Somebody has got to do it. You know, the political patronage, you know, sure, maybe you can work on getting rid of that someday. But right at the beginning, let's just open, let's show the light on what's going on in these places. And that's why I'm involved.
Tom, I had written to State Senator Stavisky about the open meeting law and asked whether TV was covered by it. And he sent me an interpretation from, I don't know which legal department in the state, who said that TV is not covered.
I would agree with that. I mean, on its face, it's a private, not-for-profit organization, and it's not covered by the open meetings law. It's not covered by the freedom of information law. That's at least until somebody steps in and forces a federal court to look exactly how these organizations are set up and to make a declaration that, look, when the borough president appoints everybody on the board and has an absolute right to revoke the designation of the administrator as the administrator at any time, at will, without cause, you're really an entity of the state. You're a function of the state. You're a state actor, and then maybe you should be subject to those laws. But no one's taken them to federal court and gotten such a holding, because that's what it would take, is a declaratory judgment by a federal court saying, yeah, you might be a private, not-for-profit organization, but you can't, but the state has got their fingerprints all over you, they control you, they run you, they manipulate you, you do their bidding, like I hear in Staten Island, that we know in Queens. Maybe Bronx is different, I don't know. But I keep my ears open to what's going on. Certainly, Queens and Staten Island sound like they're not-for-profit institutions that are completely beholden to the political powers that be. And Manhattan?
I've asked Bill Perkins, my friend, mom.
Well, the meeting in Manhattan was very, very interesting. Thomas Hillgartner, Robert Goldberg, a producer there from Staten Island, who is all, rather, Staten Island is all wrong about public access. I told them at 9 o'clock, I raised my hand and said that I wasn't supposed to be out after dark because I might scare somebody. And so we left. And we went up the West Side Highway and onto the Diggin and home. And not to bed until 10:53, 2 hours late. But it was a good meeting, and the producer from Staten Island says they have a thing called Videogram that people line up, it's live, and they come before the TV camera and they say whatever is on their mind. And also ACAP, the Association of Cable Access Producers, is having making a video in Queens sometime this month on being a public access producer. You should be a public access producer too. And now we're off again. I haven't finished the videotaping for this week, and I have to edit this week within 45 minutes. So on the way to Lynbrook to edit, coming from Westchester, we're going to have to do the videotaping. And the first thing I have to do is queue up audio tape 1118 and play you the Chats with Glendora on that audio tape, which was done late Sunday night. There's the quote of the week is on there. It's funny, the last thing Sunday night comes in the quote of the week. Oh, it took all that time just to queue up the first Chat with Glendora. We're going through the Fog's Neck toll booth. Makes me mad. These places should have been torn down long ago, the way Governor O'Neill did in Connecticut. They told us these things would be paid for in 10 years, and we're still paying for them because the money's gone into pockets. First Chat with Glendora is up in Peekskill, New York, where a woman went before the town board meeting and she, the city board meeting, city council, and she stood up for citizens' rights. And they told her if she didn't sit down, they were going to arrest her for disorderly conduct, and they were going to put her in jail. And but she stood up for what was right, and she sued them, and now it's in the appellate term down there with DePaulo and those people. And here, and I call her up. I support her every way I can, and I call her up. And this is what she had to say this week. Neck Bridge, you can't see the white stuff.
I know, I have to. We need you. Well, it does feel really good. You know what feels even better when you go to a meeting, which we do now. I can sit there and not say a word. The room is packed, and there's a line of people to speak. That's amazing.
Oh yes, and they can't put them all in jail anymore.
No, they can't. No, they can't.
Because Lindy Hartzman changed that.
Lindy Hartzman.
Good girl.
So, like I say, you know, this legal process is slow moving, boy, oh boy.
Well, I don't think so. I think that's pretty fast.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
All right, then.
Did you see the program last night?
Which program?
Chat with Glendora.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't watch television. My sister Jennifer does. She reports to me about what you say.
Oh, okay.
She's out on Montauk, so she's not here to report.
I'm on Montauk, too.
Are you?
Yes.
Then you convince she watch. I don't even own a television.
Isn't that great?
I love it.
Isn't that great about what you're accomplishing? Now, I go up to that court and I monitor it the last Thursday of every month.
Pigskill.
Yes.
And darn court is closed at 4:45.
Oh,
and that's against state law, because the state law says that the court has to be open 9 to 5.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, I tell you, they sure don't put out any extra effort, I'll say that much.
No.
Cross Island.
They go in and they have everything pre-decided and planned.
Yeah, sure.
There's no question about it.
Well, they used to.
They used to?
Yeah, and they railroaded through, but now Lindy stood up. I think that was a great thing that you did.
Well, thank you.
Oh, that was one of the greatest moments in your life.
Well, thank you. At first I was just still scared and all of the above, but now I'm really agreeing with you because there's so many good people around here, and the good people are saying, this is not a big event. This is normal. People come and they give input. And that took a lot to get it there.
First tie-up.
Yeah.
Cross Island.
Terrific.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, why do geese fly south in the wintertime?
Now I give up. Why do geese fly south in the winter?
It's too far to walk.
Oh.
And did you know about this woman, mother, was called away on an emergency, and two elderly ladies were nice enough to watch her little daughter for her?
Yeah.
And as the little girl and the two elderly ladies sat in the room together, one of the ladies said, she's not very P-R-E-T-T-Y, is she? And the little girl says, no, but very S-M-A-R-T.
Oh, I like that one better.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, Lindy, keep it up.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate the phone call.
You bet.
All right, I'll speak with you soon.
You bet.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This chat with Glendora is to the Public Service Commission in Albany.
Peggy Montague, she reaches Municipal Assistant Section of the Department of Public Service. I will be out of the office Friday, July the 14th. At the tone, please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. But this matter is urgent and you need to speak to someone right away. Please dial 0. Thank you.
Steve Shea, this is Glendora, number 1, about the having a member of the community sponsor your program. No, you do not have to be by your own rules. You just have to be a citizen of New York State. That's the community. 2, Cablevision has done away with making me call up every week and order editing. As I've tried to explain to them, for 6 years I've been editing Tuesday morning from 9A on 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch, and please just give me an appointment. So now I have every Tuesday ad infinitum. And number 3, I am reading all of the wonderful things in your public access folder that you gave us at the Crown Plaza. I only have 4 more books to read. I do, number 4, I do several things to them, interlinears, marginalia, annotations, and then I read them on TV. I think you should paginate, and I'm glad that you do print things on both sides. That helps save the trees. The things you've written are very good. What else is going on? Why do geese fly south in the wintertime? It's too far to fly.
Too far to walk.
Anybody up there going to sponsor me on Albany, Troy, and Schenectady? Gave it to me, and the word came through Diane Bennett. So that's wonderful. That's the way Tom Gardner used to do it, and that certainly is sensible. So forever we got rid of midnight calls for editing, and now I don't have to call every week. Let's see, that's one piece of news. What else? 2 is that I have 11 programs to edit tomorrow, 11 half hours, all different. You're featured in many of them.
What's going on? Franklin and Glendora are on their way to editing at Lynbrook. I think we have to edit 12 different programs. We have a tie-up here on the Cross Island. It's probably the people getting on the LIE or into the...
Hello! Hey, what's the news on you?
And
almost permanent with the Kelly.
we're recording the chats with Glendora, videotaping the audio tapes. And this was a good conversation with the greatest public access producer who ever lived. I mean, the greatest public access coordinator who ever lived, and that is Steve Laurie, who was at Riverhead for 13 years. He is unexcelled. Nobody even comes close to Steve Laurie. And because he was so good on public access, Cablevision fired him. But now he's working for the county of Suffolk, and he's doing what he thinks is right and doing good things and serving the public. So we had a long conversation with him. Steve Laurie, the greatest public access coordinator who ever lived.
I'm going to get a picket sign, posters front and back, and I'm going to picket that page, and I'm going to say, no more donuts. Good idea. Please, no more. And,
next conversation is Thomas J. Hillgartner about no system-wide public access in Westchester. 20 municipalities have been without system-wide public access, have not seen a chat with Glendora, along with 160 other public access producers, and Westchester is in the dark ages, and Cablevision isn't doing anything about it. And Hillgartner missed the call on this one. I think he's all wrong on it. Now, folks, here is the quote of the week. Background. Tom Rogers was Robert Wright's left hand and right hand on cable TV at the National Broadcasting Company, General Electric. Tom Rogers was in charge of CNBC TV. He was in charge of all of the cable operations of NBC. Tom Rogers and Robert Wright are alumni of A Chat with Glendora, and Charles Dolan also. They are all on A Chat with Glendora. And over the years, I've always kept in touch with Tom Rogers and called him on the weekends at home. And Tom Rogers has been a person, is a person I respect highly. Then Tom got the head job at Prime Media, excuse me, at Prime Media. He is the CEO now and the head man. And so Sunday night, July 16th, I called Tom, and here's what happened. Oh, let me first of all tell you that Tom's son, a teenager, is a public access producer, and he goes to Harrison High School. Harrison High School produces his program. It's a public affairs program where he and his friends discuss national issues. And I have helped Robert Rogers as much as I could about public access and given him hints and benefits of 28 years of doing public access. So here is the conversation, the quote of the week. Isn't that terrific? And sure enough, on Monday there was a message, and it was his secretary. And his secretary said that she was calling to make an appointment with Tom and Glendora for a telephone conversation, another chat with Glendora. So we'll get down to that, folks, and keep you informed. Going down Ocean Avenue, that takes care of the chats with Glendora for all of this week. And now we're going to see a train go by Ocean Avenue. And Franklin is just thrilled. Oh, look, Franklin, a train. Oh, isn't that lovely? Franklin is a happy little boy. And so we made it. A Chat with Glendora is up to date on July the 18th, 9 a.m. Tuesday. Coming into Lynbrook, going down Ocean Avenue to edit at Cablevision. There's the water tower. That means we're very near. Lynbrook. You know that Lynbrook, of course, is Brooklyn backwards, because that's how the people migrated. They migrated from Brooklyn and went to Queens, and then from Queens into Nassau County. And Lynbrook was one of the first places. It's pretty far west. This is the most forlorn cemetery. That looks so bad, that cemetery. It always looks bad. And here we are, the lumber yard and the Cablevision dishes, which I've shown you before. And Rob Kornberg's car. And the first thing I have to do is feed the birds. There's a new apparatus. What is that?
It's a trailer.
Looks like they dug up the grass. Are they going to plant flowers? Oh, no. That could never be. The birdies didn't come. Usually they come right away. So Rob let us in. We got 14 articles in. Diane Bennett. We still need a light here. It's too dark. It's dangerous. Remember, the camera can see better than we can. Okay, that's the studio. And we passed the control room for the studio. And now we start setting up a chat with Glendora. And this is your last work. Little camcorder number 3. Here's camcorder number 2. Camcorder number 1 is at home. And this is your last work. Camcorder number 3. Before of recording. And now you have to work hard to play all of these programs. A group of women always met in this one woman's house, the same room every month, and one night they came and the room looked so much better. And one of the women said to the hostess, "You have new wallpaper." "No." "Well, you have new carpeting." Hostess said, "No." "Well, let's see. You have new draperies." And the hostess says, "No." And then all of the women practically in unison said, "What have you done to make this room look so much better?" And the hostess said, "I took down the ironing board." And it was a foggy night, and Bill is driving along, and he doesn't know the road, and he's scared to death. He's going to go into the ditch. And a car pulled in onto the road in front of him, and he says, "Oh, good." He says, "I'll follow his taillights. He probably knows the road, and he'll keep me out of the ditch." And he followed him very, very closely for a very, very long time. And suddenly the car up front stopped, and Bill hit him, and Bill got out, and he says to the man up front, he says, "What did you stop so suddenly for?" And the man up front says, "Why not? It's my own garage." Now, every woman needs a husband. A mother told her daughter, every woman needs a husband. Why? There are just some things you cannot blame on Cablevision. And a couple took their young son out to a posh restaurant to get him get good manners, how to act in a posh restaurant. And the son was asked, "What did you want to order?" And the son said, "A peanut butter sandwich." Now, what is this show about? This show is about crooked lawyers and corrupt judges. If you are concerned about that, and if you want to stop it, if you want to clean up the courts of crooked lawyers and corrupt judges, then you will want to watch the show. If you don't, you won't. You better go to another channel. 100 channels. And this show is also about corporations who rip off people. So if you're concerned about that, you will enjoy the show. If you are not, you won't. This show is also about greedy cable operators who keep asking for rate increases and who put the money in their pockets. And they should really be giving you rate decreases. I'll give you an example of that. James L. Dolan, who is the Chief Executive Officer and President of Cablevision Systems Incorporated, got as a base salary in 1999 $950,000. That was his base salary. How's that sound to you people who work for $300 or $400 a week? How does that sound to you? $950,000 was his base salary. In addition to that, Mr. James L. Dolan got $4 million bonus. So how much has he got so far in 1999? $5 million. Is that enough? No. He needs more money. He needs rate increases. He needs to gouge you, the subscribers, so that he can get another $4 million in other compensation. Well, now we are not allowed to know what this other compensation is because James L. Dolan, Charles F. Dolan, and Robert S. Lemley are violating the New York State Business Corporation law and not showing a shareholder the books, records, and minutes. I want to see the books, records, and minutes. I'm a shareholder because I want to know what this other compensation is. But whatever it is he entitled to $10 million a year? Is he? And a rate increase? This program is also about animals, not eating animals. It's about kindness to cats and dogs and helping cats and dogs find homes. So if you're interested in that, you would like this show. If you're not, you won't like it. It's also about people in government who are duping you, the public. Well, hello, Miss Katie. How's that, Pat Galino? That's a good shot. So, moving on, I have a conversation to pay you. This is to the Ford Motor Company. As you know, I've been trying to restore the 1980 Lincoln for over a year and a half now. And so we ran into an impasse. We tried 3 control modules to get the clock, the digital clock, to come on in the instrument cluster, and to get the information panel to come on. The information panel that tells you how many miles per gallon, how many miles per hour, how many, what's your estimated time of arrival on your trip. It's a great thing, and it was very advanced in its day. And there is something loose or a part, and we're trying to find something that will make it light up. So we asked the Ford Motor Company, an engineer there named Mr. May. Mr. May was no good. He copped out and dumped it onto a typical public relations person. I'll play you that recording, that request.
That Mark left us. We liked him very much. And what is today's joke? The little girl came home from school, and she said to her mother, "We had a fire in school today." And her mother says, "Oh, that's dreadful." And the little girl said, "Yeah, but I knew we were going to have one. We've been rehearsing for it all year." Please read the message. Thank you. J.C. Mays, M-A-Y-S. This is Glendora. I have a television show on 23 cable systems, and I very often talk about my 1980 Lincoln, 19AO Lincoln, Continental, Mark 6, Signature Series, 351W. And I would like to know, we're waiting for an inspiration from God or from you as to how we can bring alive our clock and our information panel that used to tell us how many, the estimated time of arrival and other things. Sometimes it speaks to us, and at the time it does speak to us, there are no figures, but we do hear the cheeping, the burping, and we know that it's talking to us. And at that time, sometimes, we can press the buttons on the instrument, the keypad instrument, and we hear chirps. Somebody out there, maybe you know somebody who's retired, can give us some kind of a hint as to what we can do to bring it back to life. The car is almost completely restored. There's about 4 or 5 more things to do on it. There's something else I was going to tell you. Okay, I slipped my mind. Oh yes, that we did buy, we found 3 different control modules, and we put them in, and that wouldn't bring it back to life. The third instrument panel. We do have the odometer, and we have the gas gauge, thank heavens. Our number is 914-949-9495, Glendora, and what do you call a miniature guppy? A microfiche. So please give us some kind of an inspiration or some kind of a lead as to how we could get that fixed. It's a grand old car. You took that car and you made 3 cars out of it. The Lincoln Town car, the Mach 7, and the Continental. Take care. You took that car and you
The next conversation, it's not a conversation, it's a message to Richard Einhorn, our public access producer.
Richard, why don't you get back to me, Glendora? As I remember, you were not the founder of the public access movement. Bob Goldberg was. However, Bob Goldberg says you were. What are you going to tell the judge? You have to tell the judge something.
This is about the case in the court in Missouri.
What else to tell you? sponsors the defense fund that Robert Goldberg does, and QPTV told her to take off the $20 for a videotape at the end, and she did. And she sent them a certified letter and said that she did that under protest. Well, that's pretty naive. That's not going to get anything done. But however, this is the same cause of action as in Goldberg versus Cablevision, now awaiting a decision from the Second Circuit. I still consider the abolition of the public access kit as a monumental triumph for public access producers, including yourself. Are you watching the program every Friday night at 10 o'clock? You should be. You're mentioned quite often on it. 914-949-9495 and stop being autistic. Just go out and buy a new one. Yeah.
When Franklin back to the Morning Sun is here, that's why you got such a different... When Franklin back to 1993 on Lincoln into the driveway, the gravel came loose and it started to spin the rear wheel, and it just, the driver's rear wheel, and it just spun and spun and spun and dug a hole this deep. And so we called up, the only thing to do, and the body or frame was resting on the hump of the driveway, so the only thing to do was to call a tow truck. And so I called Yonkers tow, and this is a very bad attitude. Listen to this.
$75 plus tax. That's neat. They're right here on the table. That's near the cross county, exit 8.
I said it'd be 75 plus tax.
Okay, it seems to me that you're more interested in your $75 than you are either the location or ourselves. So let us try somebody else. I liked your tow service when Dan did it, but I consider you...
We never had it, Dan.
But I consider you offensive, and I don't want to deal with you. Goodbye.
We called for an hour, and most of the tow companies were totally incompetent. And so finally we got one, Bronx River, and they did a good job, but they charged too much. They charged $60. Now that's a ripoff.
This is Henry, and thank you for calling. Can I leave a brief message?
At this time, however, if you leave your name, number, and a brief...
I have quite a collection of courts, United States District Courts all over the United States. And I call these courts to see how they do things. Do they have recorders? Do they want your telephone number before they'll answer? And things like that. And one court does. That's Delaware. It's a strange thing. They won't take any calls unless it's a star 82 and you reveal your number. That's in the United States District Court. This one is Illinois.
No one is available to answer your call at this time. However, if you leave your name, number, and a brief message, someone will return your call. Hello. It's Glendora. Today I was reading the FCC fact sheet, and I saw your court mentioned.
This is the court in Delaware.
I called up to see how you were doing, not to pressure you, but to let you know that we are here, ever aware of you, and you are in our thoughts often. It was some big case in the District of Delaware. So, thank you. My number is 914-949-9495. Bye-bye.
The case in that court is Glendora versus Kasari. That Kasari should be deported to Hungary. He and his family for coming over here and breaking the United States laws. And also Glendora versus Share. a New Rochelle judge and the clerk of the city court, Generoso, and a court officer there who was Gestapo instead of American in an American court, and against Barone, the bumbling lawyer for Casari, and against Fry, Sweeney Cone lawyer who cheated, and against Port Chester Village judge William Giacomo, who cheated, and against Nikolai and Tommy Berg, who did everything that a judge and a law clerk should not do. And so I'm waiting for the decision on that case. And Monday I picketed all those people up and down the sidewalk with a poster. Nikolai, Giacomo cheats, Fry cheats, Sweeney Cone cheats, Barone bungles lawsuit, deport Casari, and Cher is not true to his oath. This is the United States District Court, no, the United States Court of Appeals, 5th Circuit. The Chief Judge is in Houston.
Hello, Amy? Yes. This is Glendora. Hi. Hi. I sent you a memorandum, a memo endorsed memorandum just the other day, and I was just checking to see if you got it. I'm not familiar with it. Can you give me a little more information on that? Oh, yes. The case was in the New Orleans. Okay. It was in Houston, Orline, and it was very badly handled, and I got my Rule 60B motion to file it was granted, and they sent me a letter from the New Orleans Court of Appeals on that. That would be Dennis, Dennis L. Dennis. Okay. James L. Dennis, I believe. And so I just made a memo endorsed statement of that, and I sent it down to New Orleans, but I also sent it to Carolyn King. I was just checking to see if you got it. I am not sure about that. Well, that's all right. You would know if you got it right away. So actually, I wouldn't. Maybe the docketing clerk isn't here right now. No, I didn't get your last name. If you could just spell that for me, I can check with her when she comes in tomorrow. All right. There's one name. It's Glendora. Okay. Glen. D-O-R-A. Okay. And I'm hunting for the case number for you. Okay. Just a second. What is the District Court or the Court of Appeals? Case number. I think I'm in the folder. Now, let me find it. The District Court case number is 00200. No, this is Court of Appeals number. 00-20074. Okay. And did you want the? Do you have the title of the case? Yes. The title. Please. I gave you the. Sorry. Second Circuit. 5th Circuit, Court of Appeals number 00-20074. Okay. Now let me look for the District Court number. Okay.
This is the case Glendora versus Mark D. Fox.
District Court number. Not too bad.
A very incompetent and dishonest magistrate in the Southern District of New York, White Plains. And many other people in the courts who are violating Americans' rights. The case was...
Well, you're patriotic, and we appreciate it. It's only 4 days since the 4th of July.
Trying to find the number.
Well, I'll tell you today's joke while we're waiting. What do you call a miniature guppy? I don't know. A microfiche. A microfiche. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Finding this is for the district court, the number in the district court. The judge on it was Werlein. He was anti-American. He looked out for himself and he looked out for his buddies, but he dropped America in the sewer.
How's this? H for Houston. Okay. 99. Civ. I'm sorry? Civ. C-I-V. Civ. 36.
For civil.
64. Now I feel better. Okay, do you have the title? Yes, the title is Glendora versus Fox et al.
Mark D. Fox.
There's about 25 defendants. Appellees. Okay, is there a number? My number is 914 949 9495. Okay, then we will call you and let you know if we receive the memo. Oh, that's so nice. And I apologize, I forgot your name already. Amy. Oh, yes, that's right. Once in love with Amy. Always in love with Amy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
The Public Service Commission, State of New York, thinks that a public access producer must have a sponsor in the community before the program is cablecast on the local cable system. For instance, in Troy, before Troy puts it on public access, you would have to have somebody who lives up there sponsor the program. It's very difficult to find people who will sponsor a public access program. And this prevents the program from going on the TV. So the Public Service Commission, their support of this and their promoting of this idea of a sponsor is really limits and prohibits public access. And there's this clear state law that no cable operator, no municipality, the Public Service Commission, and any third party running public access cannot limit and prohibit public access. You just can't do it. And so that's the thing that the Public Service Commission is fighting with itself. On one hand, they won't sponsor. I've asked them to sponsor and they won't do it. On the other hand, they are limiting and prohibiting public access. So here's Chad Hume, a message on his recorder, and he's the head of the communications part of the Public Access Commission, under which cable TV falls in New York State. Hume.
Not available.
H-U-M-E.
Wait for the tone. Otherwise, for assistance, press 0 now. Record at the tone. Hi, Chad. It's Glendora. Will you sponsor a chat with Glendora in Albany, Troy, and Schenectady? This is a rule that I never thought that the Public Service Commission had any grounds for a community sponsor, and it does limit and prohibit public access, which is definitely against the state law. So, I would like to have you get back to me at 914-949-9495.
And that's the end of the tape.
Then it says it is further ordered that appellant's motion for reconsideration is, and it was left blank, and then somebody with a pen wrote in denied. Now, I would think that that would be moot. Battery, I maybe.
This is
People, and also the post office.
This is a message to Great Neck Public Access TV, Shirley Bruno.
Shirley Bruno, this is Glendora. Tell me when your birthday is and I'll buy you a new telephone answering machine. Yours is antiquated. I'd like to know, Shirley, did you cablecast
exercise editorial control over the 3 dates in the opening credits, which really doesn't matter at all. And then number 2, I'd like to know, can you play a couple of specials this week? Do you have a couple of half hours empty anywhere? I have videotaped 12 programs. I'll be able to edit 4 of them tomorrow, but I want to get the others done because the information keeps coming in, and I like to keep things current. My number is 914-949-9495, and the little girl came home from school, and she said school was dreadful today. We had a fire in school, and the mother says, oh, that's awful. And the little girl says, I knew it was going to happen. We were rehearsing for it. Okay. I have discussed on television your comments to me on the last Tuesday of June, and what I think I'm going to do about that. Take care. Otherwise, for assistance, press 0.
Bob Goldberg.
Changes during a franchise without the approval of the franchisor. They can't implement any changes in PEG. The Act of 1984 specifically says that.
Public Educational Government Access, PEG.
But if they're down on the east end, they're on temporary, temporary operating authority. Right. But there still has to apply. That's a substitute. I think it's even more so. Yeah, it's a substitute for the franchise. The TOA is. Of course, you want to know something about 50 systems in Long Island are under TOA, and that's something we're challenged. Cablevision should be challenged. Well, how do you want to challenge them? Well, we should go to those places and, we'll just say that they're illegally cablecasting there. Yeah, but isn't it the municipality that they... Yeah, but a TOA is only for 30 days or 40 or 60 days or something like that. Actually, they have no franchise. Actually, they have nothing. Because the TOA, if you read the law, is only for 30 days, 60 days, or something like that, 90 days. And they've had it for years. Right. And there's about 50, and the Public Service Commission puts out a list of cable systems in the state of New York who are operating under TOA without a franchise and over the limit of a TOA. So this whole thing is illegal.
In other words,
what can we do with that?
a subscriber doesn't have to pay any money because there's nobody there with a franchise to pay money to. You get your cable TV free.
The law that I'm reading right now. Oh, no, you don't have to. Well, I want you to see the points. I get it on the web. Well, you've also got it in your hands. I sent it to you. Okay. I have it from the Public Service Commission. You got a good point. And so I'm going to send you... signed when you're a pro se and in form of papyrus, the clerk will sign.
There are and have been jurisdictions that function without attorneys. I think that's good. And another sentence here is good. In New York State did not grow out of a reasoned comparison of alternatives, but from political compromises between self-seeking groups. There is room for improvement. And that's why we want to back Americans for Legal Reform, because here's their platform. Never vote for a lawyer. Never vote for a lawyer. Abolish self-regulation of lawyers. Make lawyers' disciplinary hearings public. Establish consumer protection against lawyers. A non-bar member panel should review grievances against lawyers. Create a non-lawyer civilian complaint review board. Make client complaints against lawyers public knowledge from day one. Require attorneys to provide clients with written contracts. Hold judges personally responsible for their behavior to litigants. Have assistance in the litigant whom, for whatever reasons, what? Have assistance to the litigant. Who, it must cross out whom. Who, for whatever reasons, must litigate her or his case. In other words, if you're going pro se, they should have assistance available to help you with that. Prohibit judges from providing independent legal services. Install self-help kiosks in courtrooms. Reform family laws and bankruptcy laws. Reform divorce laws. No one should have his case heard before a judge to whom either attorney has had any political contribution. Create and enforce a legal client's Bill of Rights. Incorporate electronic recording devices to ensure court transcripts are not tampered with. Isn't it awful? And stop illegal control of all branches of government by lawyers. This is Americans for Legal Reform. By the way, they're having a party, a summer party on August 5th. You want to go? Okie doke. We're going to move on now to the Public Service Commission and some information that they have that you should have. It should get out to you. They should get it out to you. Oh boy. This is about franchise renewals. And it's the New York State Public Service Commission, 3 Empire Plaza, Albany, New York. And Glendora's made a note here. When are renewals due? In Rye, in White Plains, in Scarsdale, Greenberg, Eastchester, Scarsdale. When are these renewals due? And Glendora wants to see from the New York State Public Service Commission a current list of temporary operating authorities. When a city, a municipality, and the cable operator cannot see eye to eye and make a franchise, and the date is expired, then the Public Service Commission gives a temporary certificate an operating authority, a temporary operating authority. And then when these expire, the temporary operating authorities, I don't think any cable agreement exists between the municipality and the cable company, so that you should be getting your cable free. You have nobody to pay. The cable company that had the former franchise isn't living up to what the municipality wants. Temporary operating authority is given, temporary operating authority is expired, so you don't have to pay anybody. There's no cable company there to pay. Another rate increase is requested, and Glendora wants to see why do you have to have a rate increase on your TV when James L. Dolan, the president and CEO of Cablevision and son of Charles F. Dolan, last year received $950,000 base pay, base salary. How much is your base salary a year? He got $950,000 base salary, he got $4 million in bonuses, and he got another $4 million in other compensation. I want to find out what that other compensation is, but Cablevision again has refused to show me, a shareholder, the books, records, and minutes. So we'll go after them again. We want to start a road show the way Bob Goldberg did in Long Island. Get a bunch of us together and we go to the town board meetings, the municipal board meetings, and we make them aware of Cablevision. Here in Westchester, the municipalities let Cablevision snicker them. They did away with public access system-wide on Channel 8. We had our Channel 8 system-wide public access, 160 producers. TCI took it all, did away with it. Municipalities didn't put up the proper fight, and they were wrong in the first place to let them get away with it in the franchise negotiations. So it looks to me like two groups have to be sued. Cablevision for system-wide public access to come back. You live in Larchmont? No, you can't see a chat with Glendora. You're in the dark ages. You can't see the programs of 160 other cable TV producers. It's seen only in New Rochelle and Pelham. And the 18 other municipalities are black. It's blacked out. Rakoff raised havoc. He said it was okay for TCI to do this. He responded to self-interest, and he threw the United States of America down the sewer. And people are living with that horrible decision of that phony Jed Rakoff. Today, we are living with it. And we have to start a public access coalition in Westchester. All of us public access producers have to get together. And as I say, we have to go to the municipalities' boardrooms. And I'm going to call Emily Spaulding. As you know, the Federal Communications Policy Act of 1984, Rights of Public Service Commission, provides significant protections for the franchise during the renewal process. Protections of which your cable company is aware and will invoke if it feels is necessary. These protections are set out in Section 626 of the Cable Act. That's the wrong number. Those were all renumbered. It's Title 47 U.S. Code in there. It's 521. It's all. Now, the thing here that is bad is that the government favored the cable operator. And the state is now patting the government, the federal government, on the back for favoring the cable operator. This is why we have so many bad cable operators, is that the FCC and the New York State Public Service Commission are patsies. So they tell the municipal people what to do to get ready to renew the franchise. And the purpose of these proceedings is to identify the future cable-related community needs and interests. So we all must go to these municipal meetings and we must tell them that the needs and interests are public access. We need our system-wide public access. Review the performances of the cable operator under the current franchise term. It's atrocious, it's abominable. And the cable operator has substantially complied with the material terms of the existing franchise and with applicable law. And you know that Cablevision has not done that. There are some special things here to read to you on TV. Community needs, over and over again, community needs. You are the community. You are the power. You've got to exercise that power. To be able, company must be afforded fair opportunity for full participation. A transcript of the proceeding shall be made, and the franchising authority shall issue a written decision granting or denying the renewal, including the reasons therefor. That'll be the day that they deny. It's fixed. It's a monopoly. It's terrible. It's fixed. There's not going to be a new cable company. And any denial of a franchise renewal by a franchising authority may not be appealed to the courts. There is a presumption of renewal embodied in the Cable Act on behalf of the incumbent cable operator. You see what I said? Now that is strictly anti-public. I am tired of the FCC and the New York State Public Service Commission being pro-cable. Therefore, I would suggest, but I don't know who I is in here, do you? Who is I? Act 2. Solicitation of comments from residents of the municipality concerning the performance of the applicant system. Well, you just get right in there. Go to your city, town, your municipality head, and you tell them how bad the cable system is and how they don't deserve these rate increases. They've done nothing for it. It's all greed and it's all going into their pockets. Well, the Public Service Commission did do a good job on Cablevision's odious public access kit. They made them back down. Well, they did, and we did, and the lawsuits, one the lawsuit that I brought and a lawsuit that was going to be brought, and the people out in Riverhead and Southampton, they all did a good job in making the Cablevision back down on the horrible public access kit. There's a sentence here that's very awkward. There are several issues as discussed below which the franchising authority should give consideration to in its renewal deliberations. That's awkward English. And down here it says, has not proposed and committed to an increase in its channel capacity or has not met the determined future needs of the community. A question, how can the future be determined? You know that they charge 5%. The municipality charges 5%. Gets 5% of the gross receipts of a cable company. And guess what? Who pays for that in the end? You do. The cable company charges you the 5%. Now, is this the way a public service commission should act? Is this the way an FCC should act? No. They are anti-public and you should let them know. It says that some cable companies have 62 to 77 channels, and here they put us on the lowest channel, or the worst channels, way up at 71. If there's only 77 channels and we're on 71, we're pretty bad off. Basic cable service need only contain retransmitted local broadcast signals and PEG channels. PEG is Public Educational and Governmental Access. So, about public educational and government access, this pamphlet on franchise renewal says a franchising authority may require in its renewal proposal and as part of the franchise that channel capacity be designated for public educational and government, PEG, use, and may require rules and procedures for the use of such channels pursuant to section, now they got the wrong number again, of the Cable Communications Policy Act of 1984. Why don't they revise this and bring it up to date? Additionally, the State Commission has set minimum standards for PEG under Part 595.4 of our rules. It is suggested that consideration be given to allocating a portion of the franchise fee toward funding for access programming, even where there is great interest in access. It generally doesn't succeed without some operational funding. Some franchising authorities need funding in addition to the franchise fee for access operating funds and access-related equipment from the cable operator. Commission assistance is also available pertaining to funding levels, equipment requests, operating rules, entity bylaws, and the like regarding access operators. Well, you know, the municipalities are so interested in this 5% fee that they're going to get from cable operators that they forget about ordering what they need for public access. And under access it says public and educational governmental access, and then it says NYSCCT rules. What's that? On basic equipment, studio, origination points, and accountability. It was about time somebody made cable operators accountable for their terrible actions and for their greed. The service list is Robert Goldberg, Glendora TV audience, that's you. Thomas J. Hillgartner, the lawyer who's done so much pro bono work for cable access producers, and Stephen Shea in the Public Service Commission. Next week I'll try to read you a little bit more about what the Public Service Commission has written. Also the FCC has written, but they don't let you know. I do that. I come along and I let you know. Folks, I want to show you the picketing posters, what the well-dressed picketer wears. This one is all because of Kasari and his foolish eviction hysterics. This is the first one. Giacomo cheats. This is another one. This is Barone, Nicholas P. Barone, Bungle's lawsuit. He's in New Rochelle at 270 North Avenue. We have picketed all of these places with these posters. This is Cher, a New Rochelle city court judge. He fails his oath. These people are making the money that you would like to make. This guy, Nikolai, makes $130,000 a year. Well, he must make more than that, because he is the so-called chief judge of Supreme Court, State of New York, County of Westchester. And we have picketed him at the county courthouse on Grove Street. This is the lawyer that Barone conned into Edward A. Fry into taking the case and cleaning it up, and he cheated. He just cheated. They could not get an eviction legally because there was no legal reason for the eviction, and so they cheated to get it. These people have all been sued in the United States District Court in Delaware. And this is the last one. The man who started it all, Ishvan Kasari. And this is the action to deport Kasari because he came to the United States and he broke United States laws, and so he should be deported to Hungary. Remember, you are the people. Remember that it is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And you're the people in charge, and you have to make that known. The graphics today, we have 40 seconds. Dolan, Lemley continue to lie, steal, and cheat, and hide and violate the law to show shareholders the books, records, and minutes. Charles Dolan, James Dolan, Robert Lemley, why are you afraid to show shareholders the books, records, and minutes? Don't you know that this is the law, and what are you covering up? And this is a chat with Glendora. Keep the courage flaming. Remember, you are the people who have the power. Here's another one, and we're getting these little tables. Remember I told you we repaired them, nailed them, and one is red. We're going to paint another one blue and another one white, and they will go out onto the sun porch. And this is Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hello.
And see how clean these windows are? We had about 8 windows, 7 or 8 windows, and it's a big job to get them all clean. And there's the telephoning in progress. We have good news. We can edit every Tuesday. We don't have to call up every week. Remember how we used to have to call up at midnight? So we're very appreciative of that. And by mistake, I dialed Mark Shukin's number. I was trying to reach Tom Geiger, and I had the pleasure of talking to his wife, so by dialing the wrong number 3 times, it turned out to be a nice thing. And Mark is working very hard, but he loves his new job. And after Franklin pays $85 to get the windows washed, inside and out, and all of the storms, what do we get? A downpour. This is the 4th hour. Yep, that's the way I feel about it. So what happened after the windows got washed? It rained. After Franklin paid $85 to wash the windows, it rained. And Glennie washed this one. How's that? And it drenched. It poured for 3 hours until there wasn't any more up there. And the landlord did a good job fixing the sun porch floor. There was a rotten board and there was a board missing. Now, here's the big news. Remember the 3 tables here that were left by somebody else? And one was all rickety, and Franklin and Glendora nailed it all to pieces and made it secure and nice. Wish you could do that with people, make them whole like that quickly. Should have been white. But I took the paint can and put it on top of this one to dry, and the wind blew the paint can over, and the lid got loose, and the red paint went on the top. So that changed the plan. Painted one of all is the one that Franklin painted. This is the 3rd one. And now, folks, look where the elephant plan is. Look where that is. And all that hard rain of yesterday didn't beat it down. What an amazing creation by God. That came out of one seed. One little sunflower seed. Now you remember we had the Leaning Tower of Pisa here? Leaning Tower of Pizzas. We had 3 of them. So, took column 10 and made 2 columns out of it and moved a column closer to the window. And then Franklin got the idea to make a pyramid of them. And it was an excellent idea. An excellent idea. And so it's done. They're all restacked according to weight. And now they have to be repainted. It never ends. Folks, it's early Sunday morning before church, before laundry. I don't know how that started, but it did start 17 years ago. And it's too late to change it now. I've decided that I should be a bank teller, don't you? Because I belong in a cage. Or I should be a cashier of some kind. A young man left his mother and father and went to California to make his fortune. And he rode home and he says, "Dad, I got a job. That's a feather in my cap." And then a week later he rode home and he says, "Dad, I got a promotion. That's a feather in my cap." And then he rode home later and he said, "Dad, I got a raise. That's a feather in my cap." And it came Christmas time and he wanted to be home for Christmas and he asked Dad to send him the airfare. And what did Dad say? Dad said, "Take some of those feathers and fly home." Marilyn is looking at her photographs with her friend Carolyn, and Carolyn says, "These pictures do not do you justice." And Marilyn said, "It isn't justice I need, it's mercy." Little boy came running home from school and said, "Dad, I got 100 in school today." And Dad says, "It's about time." "In what?" And the little boy said, "I got 50 in reading and 50 in spelling." Paul called Polly and to make their plans for the weekend, and Polly says, "I decided I don't want to go out with you this weekend." And Paul says, "Why, that's terrible. You've ruined all my plans. What am I going to do with my weekend?" And Polly says, "Wear a hat on it." Then the high school sophomore got a job working for Jack Lemmon, and he liked the job very much, taking care of the fan mail. But then he quit the job because all of his friends called him a lemonade. It's costing $45 a day, $45 a day to live in this house. So everything has to be perfect. Isn't that so? This is a new product that I found at Odd lot. That means if you like it, you can't go back and get more. But I thought it was pretty good. It's Pacific Foods, and it's an enriched rice drink. And it's a delicious, non-dairy drink, and fat-free. So we liked it, and I gave it to a couple of other people who were Seventh-day Adventists, and they liked it. And Franklin likes it. I don't know anything about the people. They're in Oregon or Washington someplace. And, excuse me, Penny wants to come up and see you. Oh, Penny, you are so heavy. Oh, you are such a heavy kitty. Over this way. That's it. And so, I'm always interested in telling you about products that are non-animal products, because I do not like to see animals terrorized and tortured and murdered. And I don't think it's right to eat their carcasses. And terrible things happen to cows. They take their babies away from them. First of all, they get them pregnant so that they'll give milk, and they take their babies away from them. And then they put machines on them to get milk. So I'm really all opposed to that. One of the things from the Public Service Commission is franchise renewals, talking to you people in municipalities who are about to renew your franchises. And so I read that pamphlet put out by the Public Service Commission, and I did marginalia and interlinear and annotations. The first thing when you renew a franchise is you have to look out for public access. I don't know where least access is on Cablevision. Will somebody please tell me? This publication is the Cable Communications Policy Act of 1984, and I covered that with you. And I've made annotations, interlinears, and marginalia about that, and that's going to go to Goldberg and Hilbert-Gartner and to the Public Service Commission. And I have to remind you again, plan your funeral. Not that you're going to die right away, but when you do die, the plan has to be there for the poor people who are left. And do you want them to spend $7,500 of your money on a funeral, really, that you don't want? So you should call funeral directors, and you should get their prices, and you should find out what the law is and what you need, and whether you want the minimum or the maximum or something in between. I was reading this to you. This is the Funeral Consumer Information Society, educates the public. Most of us have little knowledge about this area. We don't know, for example, that no laws require embalming. Funeral directors tell people that the law requires embalming. It doesn't. It's a new thing. And it's a thing that's just in the United States, but they're trying to spread it all over the world. The use of finished caskets, those are not needed. You can have a simple pine box, or you can have no pine box at all and be cremated. In fact, any services at the funeral home are not required by law. A funeral director does provide certain official services, such as notifying authorities and obtaining death certificates. We may also be unaware that we are legally entitled to specific price information when we first call or visit a funeral home. And an itemized bill at the end. So that's two things. If you go to a funeral director and they say, no, we won't give you prices, well, they're required to give you prices. And I believe they're required to give you the prices over the phone. And at the end, you are entitled to an itemized bill. Every charge itemized. Our society, the Funeral Consumer Information Society, this one is in Westchester, but I'm sure there's one in your county. Except I heard Rockland didn't have one. Our society, a non-profit, non-sectarian, primarily educational organization, makes a number of services available to its members. A guidance statement. That's good. It says the name of your mother and father, where they were born and where you were born, and what you want. Do you want a memorial service or do you not? Do you want cremation? Do you want burial? Do you want cemetery plot arrangements or you don't? And that's what the guidance statement is, so that family members can be fully informed about the members' wishes. A regularly updated list of a number of area funeral homes with price and other information, directions on the options of body and organ donation. So that's pretty good. We've read 2/3 of this article, and next week I'll try to read you all of it. Jeannie, why are you lying on the pen? This means computers, video decks, software, and hardware have been on every minute, every hour, every day. Time, wear, and tear gets the best of everything, and the automation breaks down. Well, I would think so. Their claim, their purpose is very well stated here. As Manhattan Neighborhood Network is responsible for administrating the public access cable television services in Manhattan, our purpose is to ensure the ability of Manhattan residents to exercise their First Amendment rights through the medium of cable television and to create opportunities for mutual communication, education, artistic expression, and other non-commercial uses of video facilities on an open, uncensored, and equitable basis. In providing services, we seek to involve the diverse racial, ethnic, and geographic communities of Manhattan in the electronic communication of their varied interests, needs, concerns, and identities. And then they list their current services, which I sort of reviewed for you. They do a good job. They do a very good job.